Hello, this video is on how to write a leaflet meant for all-level English language students. Now let's find out what a leaflet is. What is a leaflet? A leaflet, also called flyer or handbill, is a promotional writing, and usually you might get a leaflet in the daily newspaper that probably wants to sell a new product, or in a public place you might be handed a leaflet that talks about some common cause, national or international. Why do we write it? We usually write to promote our ideas and persuade the audience into believing what we believe. Maybe we want to persuade the audience to buy a product, or we want to persuade them to do something about a cause. Now let's have a look at the layout of a leaflet. For exam purposes, two classic formats might help out. The first one, let me show you this way. If you can see, yes, you see reduce, reuse, recycle. That's the heading. Then a question that goes, are you ... Then you can see the bullet points, usually the single line points, and in the end a call to take action. Let's ... Or you might also like to use a format like this. Reduce, reuse, recycle. You can see, and then this brief discussion. Are you? Maybe a rhetorical question, and then these subheadings, and then in the end, call for action. Let's. Now, what is common in both these formats is there will be a lot of space in, and it's easy to follow the points at a glance. The reader will understand what they're going to get, even if they don't read each and every word of your text. Now let me give you some tips about writing a leaflet in exam situation. Let me take it this way. I've written them down so that you can see and hear at the same time. Tips. First bullet. Take an interesting heading, short and pleasant to hear. Use all caps to highlight. The heading must be interesting. It's your first opportunity to grab the attention of your reader, so it must not be very long. And if you can use alliteration like the sample one, reduce, reuse, recycle, the repetition of re in the three words, they bring the words together, and it directly connects to the theme. You understand this leaflet is about some environmental issue, and use all caps to highlight. Why? Because the title should draw the attention, and in your writing, unlike in a printed leaflet, you cannot use lots of visual effects. So if you go for all caps, it will create some Impacting the reader's mind, oh, I have to take the title more seriously. Bullet 2. Start with a rhetorical question. Yes. Why okay, what is a rhetorical question? A rhetorical question is a question that doesn't need the answer. In fact, more often than not, the writer asks a rhetorical question to emphasize the answer. But as it is a question, it draws the attention of the reader's mind and keeps them thinking for the answer. The next bullet, keep the layout spacious to encourage easy reading. Yes. Plus, someone is not bound to read. They may take it and throw it away. So your layout should be encouraging. As you have seen in both the samples, either go for the bullets if that's appropriate, or you have fewer points than bullets, you can go for a heading and subheading. Then there will be a lot of spaces in between the bullets or in between the subheadings. Be semi-formal in tone and register. Semi-formal, yes. You can't be formal like you are in a letter to a school principal. That would be boring. You be personal, you talk to your audience, be conversational, but don't be too informal to call them dudes or guys. That might offend your first-time encounters. Involve your audience. Of course you have to involve your audience. But how? Yes, rhetorical question is one way. They will be involved. Then be personal. Talk to them with you, the personal pronoun. And you can use let's, we, us. And that's how you get your audience involved. Be persuasive. In fact, that's why we're writing it. You want to persuade them into buying your product or service, or into taking some action for the cause that you are so passionate about. So you have to persuade them. The next bullet, you may use all caps for important words or single word sentences to emphasize. For example, you are promoting a product, and your product is reliable, long-lasting, unique. You might use all caps to highlight those words, and you can use single word sentences. That's also for emphasizing, like buy it. It is a unique product, and then you keep on putting in adjectives: beautiful, sleek, long-lasting, just full stop, full stop, full stop. That will emphasize those words. The next bullet says, don't try to decorate it with sketch or drawings. That's not expected from a student in the exam situations, exam context. Yes, some students mistakenly think, as leaflets have a lot of visual effect, I have to do that. No, that's not expected of you. In the end of the day, this is a language exam, so don't try to draw or decorate it and waste your time. That's it. So if we do a brief recap, take an interesting heading, start with a rhetorical question, keep the layout spacious, be semi-formal, involve your audience, be persuasive. If you violate some of the standard writing rules like all caps or single word sentences, and do not decorate and waste time. Best of luck with your leaflet writing. Take care.